We're not jerks, we don't curse. Salutations, Grime Nation. It has been a terrible, terrible week for wrestling. I don't know if you watched the Extreme Rules pay-per-view this past Sunday, but there was a travesty, a miscarriage of justice to Mr. Jonathan Cena. It was terrible, and here we are. I am here with a Grimes Great Raw review. I don't even know if I actually want to do this review, but I am here for the Grime Nation to tell you what happened on Monday Night Raw last night. So let's get right down to the brass tacks. Sweet Sassy Molassie, it was bleh. We open Raw with The Shield, who because of some shenanigans at the pay-per-view, somehow defeated Evolution. But that's okay, that doesn't matter, because Evolution is the greatest, and they are back on Raw to punish The Shield, and so Dean Ambrose has to go into a 20-man battle royal for his United States Championship that he never defends, so here come 19 other superstars to the ring to defeat Dean Ambrose for his United States Championship. And hey look, Zack Ryder's on Raw. That'll be the only way Zack Ryder could ever get on Raw, because he's terrible. But it's kind of funny, Zack Ryder got on Raw, but you had 19 guys and you couldn't even get The Miz in there. Instead you've got Xavier Woods. What is even the point of Xavier Woods? Is he even doing anything? Your winner, it is your friend and mine, Sheamus. He is back in action. He is back from being super depressed on the pre-show at Extreme Rules. He's back to being awesome. Sweet Sassy Molassie. So Triple H comes out, and he makes the main event, The Shield versus the Wyatts. Again, I don't like either of those teams. This main event is a wasty waste. Where is John Cena? Why is he not on Raw? I haven't seen him yet. I hope he shows up. Oh look, backstage with Daniel Bryan and his wife yet again. This whole angle is a wasty waste, takes up way too much time of the show, and it's just terrible, terrible, terrible. So Stephanie shows up and says to stay put. Sure, I'm sure nothing will happen backstage in your dressing room there. Nothing spooky will happen at all. I bet Brie totally doesn't get kidnapped like so many other divas like Kelly got kidnapped by Kane. Oh, that totally won't happen. We move on to a doper Rob Van Dam fighting Cesaro, who is amazing, and Paul Heyman comes out and he keeps working that stuff into his promos about how Brock Lesnar beat the streak and whatever. Considering Rob Van Dam landed his face on a trash can last night, he looks alright. That trash can must have been made of solid plastic. The match ends with a DQ finish, which I don't understand. Why are you trying to protect the doper Rob Van Dam? He's just gonna get another wellness suspension again, so why even not just have him pinned like he got pinned at Extreme Rules? Just give a nice, decisive Cesaro victory. That would be the mother flip-flops way to go with it. Another backstage Shield promo, and who cares, wasty waste. Then we see Cody Rhodes fighting the big guy, Ryback. And I don't understand, are they still teasing this Cody Rhodes Goldust breakup? They've been teasing it for a while now. Is anything gonna happen? Or are we just gonna keep spinning our wheels every single week like a wasty waste? Cutting back to more boring Daniel Bryan and his wife stuff in the back. And ooh, spooky, there's a haunted Kane jack-o'-lantern there. Ooh, this is totally not mid-card garbage for your supposed world champion. Randy Orton, or Triple H, or Batista, or John Cena should be world champion. We'd not be subjected to this awful, awful, wasty waste nonsense. And then something with Stephanie saying that Daniel Bryan doesn't understand the Demon Kane. They were a tag team for like a year. How does Daniel Bryan not understand the Demon Kane? How does any of this make any sense? Where's the continuity? Wasty waste. And moving on to the greatest segment of the night, we get a recap of the WLC match from Extreme Rules, which was an amazing match. That name is still hilarious. They had little announcers, they had little ring announcer, they had a little referee. It was great. It was hilarious, and it was the best match on that card. I don't care what you say. So then we have a Cinco de Mayo celebration, and that was hilarious, and Hornswoggle is hilarious, and El Torito is hilarious, and this is almost better than Slam City. I can't believe it. Alright, it is now 9:30 on the clock. It's halfway into our show, and there has still been no John Cena. What John Cena needs to do is watch a Bo Dallas promo, and Bo leave, and get his aspirations, and get back in action. Once again, my screen is befouled by that temptress, that strumpet, Lana, strutting back and forth across my screen, across the entranceway, and I do not appreciate this. Is a total wasty waste for a PG show. What are you doing? Wear some clothing that is better fitting to your physique. It is far, far too scandalous. Now, maybe I'm the only one noticing it, but does Rusev only fight people of color? Is he a total racist? I do not understand where they are trying to go with this angle. You obviously, if you want him to fight people who are jobbers, like Kofi Kingston and R-Truth and Xavier Woods, you have other jobbers who are other ethnicities. Have him squash Jinder Mahal, who is awesome. Have him squash Zack Ryder, who is terrible. You have other jobbers. Use your wide array of jobbers. What's next? Is he gonna squash JTG? Stop being a racist Rusev. Racist Rusev. Trademarked. Oh no, here's Daniel Bryan backstage with his wife, and now he can't leave in his car because he has to be in a match, and they told him earlier he had to be in a match, so why would he even try and leave? It makes no sense to me at all. Wasty waste. Then we get a perfectly competent match between Daniel Bryan and the always amazing Alberto Del Rio, and I don't understand why you're having your world champion have matches in the middle of your show. It was the same problem with that wasty waste CM Quit, who always had matches in the middle of the show, even though he was the champion. I don't understand why your champion is not closing your show out, but I kind of understand when you have champions like CM Punk and Daniel Bryan that people don't want to see that, so put it up early on the show where no one's really watching, and the end of the show have your real men like Triple H and Batista and Randy Orton and especially John Cena. Oh no! The car's not working. This is like that time when that wasty waste Zack Ryder spent half a show trying to change a tire and couldn't escape with Eve and all that other nonsense. This is the same exact thing, the same wasty waste we had, but at least that previous wasty waste had the involvement of the amazing John Cena to uplift those segments into something that is watchable. This time, it is just Daniel Bryan, the terrible, his wife, and Kane. And it was just, stop screaming, stop trying to act, you are terrible, you are a wasty waste. Alright, move on to a match with Big E and the awesome Bad News Barrett, and this was an okay match. The match of the pay-per-view was a bit better, but that's alright. The fans here were the low point of the match because they are still chanting for CM Quit. Get used to it. He's never coming back. He's gone. He wants to play hockey or whatever it is he's doing and be a commentator on low quality cable news talk shows or whatever. Who cares? Alright, Grime Nation. They have just told us that John Cena will not be on Raw tonight. I am almost contemplating ending this review right here when they tell me there is going to be no additional John Cena content on this Monday Night Raw. I am going to power through for you, the Grime Nation, and finish up the rest of Hour 3 here of Monday Night Raw. John Cena will be addressing the situation on Main Event. Problem there is that nobody watches Main Event, so I'll never see it, you'll never see it, but it's gonna happen. Hopefully they'll recap it on a show like SmackDown that people actually watch, or hopefully next Monday on Raw. But that's the long and the short of it, is that there will be no more John Cena content on this Raw. That is the ultimate wasty waste. Holy tuna fish. That Mr. T Mother's Day segment was incredibly disrespectful to the amazing actor that is Mr. T. Taking his awesome Hall of Fame speech that did not get enough time, needed more time, and overlaying a generic, terrible hip-hop music beat to it, and then intercutting that with footage of Brodus Clay's Dancing Mamas from that WrestleMania a couple years back. What are you doing, WWE? You already have this thing with racist Rusev trademarked. Do you want to look even more terrible to people that you should be supporting and uplifting, like Mr. T, who you didn't give enough time for his Hall of Fame speech? Wasty waste. Shame on you. Right. They've been teasing it all night. Here comes this ecstasy-using, partying Adam Rose to interrupt Zeb Coulter speaking truth bombs on the mic, and he comes out with his whole party clique, and I bet Grim loved it. I bet he thought it was hilarious. This was a total wasty waste of a segment. Zeb Coulter is a grandfather. Zeb Coulter was in the war. Zeb Coulter is amazing. What are you doing disrespecting this American legend, Zeb Coulter? Oh look, there's a party in the ring. This is just the 2014 version of the Oddities, and unfortunately, they don't have the amazing music the Oddities had. They don't have the great catchy theme song the Oddities had. How long before they add the Great Khali into Adam Rose's Party Goers? It's just a matter of time. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be Adam Rose, Fandango, Great Khali, Santino. Book it. Right. Finally, we have reached the main event of the night, which I really don't care about because it's the Wyatts, who are terrible, and the Shield, who are terrible. Two teams, don't care, but I'll keep watching for the sake of the Grime Nation. However, I will say that giving the figure 4 to Dean Ambrose is much better than when they gave it to The Miz, because The Miz could never do it properly. So, kudos on that. Alright, I have a complaint with current WWE officiating. This is no longer Extreme Rules. Why are you being so lenient with the amount of guys you have in the ring in what is supposed to be a 6-man tag match? It is just chaos at all times. Referees have no control. No one gets disqualified. What is even going on? Mother flip-flops, son of a biscuit eater, waste. But that's okay, because here comes Evolution to end the show the way the show should be ended. It doesn't matter that technically the Wyatts won this match. It doesn't matter, because Evolution beat down the Shield like they should, like they always will. It doesn't matter that Evolution lost at a pay-per-view. This feud continues, and ultimately, even though they lost a battle, Evolution will win the war. So we end this show with Evolution standing tall. I am still kind of annoyed at the minuscule amount of John Cena content on this show. I was happy to see that the Hornswoggle and El Torito feud is continuing, because that is hilarious. That is always going to be amazing. Not as amazing as Slam City, but still pretty amazing. The rest of the show had way too much Daniel Bryan, had way too much Kane, had way too much nonsense that nobody cares about. I am super excited that Wade Barrett is the IC champion. I am super duper excited that Sheamus is your US champion. I am hoping that those belts will have greater prominence with those men as champions. I don't know where is the tag division on this show. Who cares? Wasty waste. And that was basically the show for me. I watched the whole thing. I am still super angry that there was no John Cena content. Be sure to tune in next week, where hopefully we will have a bunch of John Cena content, hopefully with no audio-visual distractions, hopefully with no time-traveling creepy children that are costing Mr. Cena matches that he should rightfully have won. Hopefully none of that. Just amazing John Cena and Sheamus and all the other top guy content, Evolution, etc. So tune in next week to another Grimes Great Raw review. It has been nailed. And don't forget to subscribe, like, share, tweet, tout, retweet, Reddit, Facebook, Foursquare, Instagram, Telegram, Sonogram, and Carrier Pigeon, the undisputed action figure champion of the known universe. It has been nailed.